to the world, Mr. Chris Kaler.
Welcome to A Quantum View, everybody. I am your host, Chris Kaler, coming to you live in the wonderful city of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So tonight's show is a healing show. Now, first of all, I want to welcome any of my students, people who are taking my course, who are listening. We've been getting a lot of success, but it's working. And that's the main thing, is that it's working and people are learning in the news, as they say, the good old internet news. There's something that has been talked about a lot, something called Wave X. I want to talk about Wave X for a few minutes. What is Wave X? Wave X is happening every day. There's always new energies being pulled into the planet. You know, you want to call it cosmic waves, you can call it anything you want. That is a big talk amongst people, like Simon Parkes is talking about it. And then people are expecting some big light switch to get flicked, the whole fifth dimension consciousness possibly. Well, what I'm going to tell everybody is don't boil your chicken yet. There's still a lot of things that need to be done before any big energy shifts happen where consciousness just automatically shifts. This is going to be more of just another shift, and it's going to be a substantial shift, but it's not going to knock out the power grid. It's not going to knock out the satellites. It's not going to cause great travesty in the planet. That's just not going to happen. It's more so just another wave of consciousness coming in, raising people's awareness about spirituality and about what's going on this lovely blue planet of home that we call Earth.
You know, can I read you something? I mean, you know, you think it's crazy. You're talking about Wave X, okay? This thing, I mean, I get these things. I mean, as you're speaking, I mean, this thing is flipping faster than a out-of-whack TV. It says, your world is about to change in a profound way over the next 2 months as a powerful wave of gamma light coming from the galactic core impacts Earth and its beings.
Yeah. Okay. Now, of course,
really,
anybody who knows about this is somebody who works psychically as a channel, and they get these informations. Now, with the work that I do, I use my pendulum 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I get channelings. I get all of a sudden it'll break in and give me a message about things. And quite often, it's a message that you need to know how to read between the lines. Let me give an example. For the last 3 weeks, my pendulum has been saying, prepare to see reptilians. Prepare to see reptilians. And I'm like, okay, I'm prepared. Show me reptilians. And then it would keep on saying it, prepare to see reptilians. Now, I've got a guy in Lopez Island, Washington, who makes orgone. He's very good at it. And he sent me some new pieces he wanted me to see. And within that shipment was some new orgone pendulums. So, hey, look, new pendulum. So I grabbed this pendulum and I start using it and asking about it. And what it spelled out that with this new pendulum, I'm able to find reptilians a lot more efficiently within somebody. So now I'm able to see reptilians. So you really got to know how to read between the lines and decipher the riddle a little bit. Sometimes whatever we hear, it's not black and white. The whole gamma ray thing, I mean, okay, you know what? I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but ultimately it's just source consciousness that is coming in, and it's at a quantum level. It's in the etheric, and it's going to basically affect our quantum planet, our quantum selves, which trickles into our existence in our reality. Don't look for disaster. Don't look for the sun getting blotted out of the sky. Don't look for the monetary system to all of a sudden be worth nothing. It's just not going to happen. That's all fear-based, it's all conspiracy, and it's all bull dingy hoo-ha. Said my piece on that.
Get that out of the way. I got a question for you that's coming through on here, and I've seen this thing before a couple of times. It says, Chris, how can you heal shingles? A friend in Georgia has a really bad attack of shingles around his head, neck, and shoulders.
First of all, you have to be sure that it's shingles. If it is shingles, and my pendulum says so, now what I would do is I would find the negative energy components that's bringing in this virus. And we're going to talk about that in a second. I got some new stuff that's pretty mind-blowing. And then I just take my pyramid, hold it over the person's head or hold it over the phone wherever they are and just say the words to neutralize and eliminate shingles virus from this person's skin, from the person's lymphatic system, the brain, wherever it is, wherever I find it with my pendulum, I just intend for it to go away and it goes away. It's just that simple. But ultimately, you have to be sure it is shingles, and you got to do it in the right order by doing the right clearings first to prep the area in order to be cleared. So shingles is not difficult at all, really.
Yeah, but doesn't that hurt like heck?
Well, shingles does hurt. Oh, yeah. When it's on your skin, it burns, it blisters, there's a lot of pain involved. And quite often, shingles is inside your body before it gets to the skin. When it's on your skin, it is coming out. So quite often somebody has a bowel disorder or some kind of problem within their internal organs. It could be a shingles virus causing all of that. So you have to know how to look for it inside the body also.
You also have someone by the name of Ty Energy. He sent his first 4 pendulums to you.
That's the guy who sent me the Oregon pendulum. Ty, they're working fantastic, man.
There you go. So there you go. Right out of the horse's mouth. They work.
He makes some wonderful Oregon pieces. They're on my website, chriskaler.net. Have a look at it. They're wonderful Oregon pieces and a lot of really cool aspects to them. He does this really neat coil with copper wire that is interesting. And I've got my microphone sitting on top of the charging plate right now, which keeps our call nice and clear and open. Now, there's some new clearings that I'm going to do on the broadcast for everyone listening and in the podcast. Now, what these clearings consist of, and if there's any students listening, these are new, like really new. I just finished working with Nicola before the show, and we did some of these clearings with her. And what these clearings are, now, when you're working with the soul has 4 different levels. There is the soul, there is the oversoul, there is the avatar, and then Rishi. And this is all according to Keylonta. If you go online and look for the Keylontic dictionary, these 4 levels will be there, and it'll explain what they do. Now, these 4 areas of the soul need to be in different densities, not dimensions, but density. The soul is supposed to be in density 2, the oversoul density 3, avatar density 4, and the Rishi in 5. What I find within some people, and how I found this is my pendulum told me that the avatar level was too dense within this person for the energy to work. So I thought, what does that mean? So I started looking into it, and I thought, okay, it's in a much higher density. It was in density 20, which is not a very good density at all. So I brought it back to where it belongs, and all of a sudden it made things a lot easier for me to work on this person, and it started to make more changes, more differences a lot quicker. And that's what I'm all about. Let's not drag this out. Let's fix this problem as fast as possible. Take as little money from you as possible, and you can get on with life with a lot less discomfort. So that's the first clearing. And then the next clearing that I do within those soul areas is I just make the intent to reset the blueprints and templates back to its original design. So you just take it back to its original design, what God intended it to be. And then that resets everything. And then I say the word true. After each of the soul level, you say the word true. The word true is very, very important within the work that I do, because what the word true does is whatever area you're working on. So let's say I'm working on your RNA. So I've done some clearing on it. Then I'm going to say the word RNA true. And what that does is it takes that RNA and it puts it in its pristine condition as it's meant to be, and it takes it out of this time matrix and it puts it in an area where nothing's going to affect it anymore. So it really cleans things up nicely, brings it back to its true state of operation, what it's meant to be doing, the way it's designed. So the word true, and that my course is called True Quantum Healing. It works on that aspect of the word true. So anything I work on, when I finish working on it, I say the word true. It kind of finishes the job, buffs it up really nice, and makes it look pretty. That's the other clearing. Now, another new one, we're also working within different particles, light particles, different particles of energy. And there's a particle called the massless particle. Now, everything that has mass is born from something without mass, and this is the massless particle. So if the universe is born from nothingness, this would be it, the massless particle. So all I do is hold my pyramid toward the person and say the words massless particle true. This resets the whole particle back to its original state so that things can flow a lot easier through your energy fields. And then I also go in and say vacuum of space true. Within us, there is a vacuum of space. The vacuum of space is there in our quantum bodies. It's very important to have that in a true state so that everything in your quantum body can operate properly. Everything in your physical organic body operates off of this quantum body, or some people call the etheric body or the causal body. It's an energy body that everything exists and happens, and then it feeds into your physical body. So if you got symptoms of the flu, but they do testing and there's no flu anywhere within you, well, then it exists in that quantum body. You've got to clear it out of there, and all of a sudden you feel better. And then also Aquarius true, because we are entering the age of Aquarius. If you say the words Aquarius true, that means that when it enters in, it's going to be a nice, easy transition, and your body is going to accept it in a lot better way. Now, this one, I've been working with my mentor on it in Alberta, my toolmaker, and he's been looking for something for reverse aging. What this is working within the RNA, and what we do is we say the words RNA true perpetual. If you use the word perpetual after it, it puts it in a perpetual motion, and it brings the RNA back to its original state. Start doing these clearings, and this is going to be for anybody listening. If you don't want the clearing, turn off your radio, but please don't. They're really nice clearings. You're going to enjoy them. If you're listening on a podcast, you're still going to receive the energy because the energy exists at this level. Okay, so let's get started. So within everyone listening, podcast and live, transmute the soul back to density 2. Transmute the oversoul back to density 3. Transmute the avatar back to density 4. And transmute the rishi back to density 5. There we go. Okay, so those are all back in. If anybody's feeling any tingling or any sensations, chime in on the chat, and I want to hear from you. Now, within these 4 areas, reset the template and blueprint within the soul. Reset the template and blueprint within the oversoul. Reset the blueprint and template within the avatar. And reset the rishi. Reset the template and blueprint within the rishi. And now let's clean it all up. All levels of the soul true. All levels true. So, we just cleaned up your soul. We just put everything back into place. Some people didn't need that. A lot of people did. Some things are out of place. Some things aren't. But if they needed to go back in, they are now going back in. Okay, now here's the next level of the clearing. Massless particle true. Massless particle true. Vacuum of space true. And Aquarius true. Okay, now let's do the reverse aging. Within everyone, RNA true perpetual. RNA true perpetual, please. Okay, that is now going in, and it's going to start to do some energy changes. You're going to feel a lot nicer, let me tell you. Another new thing that I found today, it's always my quest to find out all of these different possibilities of dark energy. We want to identify it as best we can so we can get rid of it. And I do remove, on an ongoing basis, I do remove Lucifer a lot. And I've had cases where somebody has come in and there's a big problem with pain, and just by removing Lucifer, pain lifts, pain goes away, and they're amazed. And it does work. And seen it many, many times. Just by removing Lucifer, this energy does exist at the quantum level. Generally, he's in the second dimension, so we need to pull the person out of the second dimension to get rid of Lucifer and all of his attachments. And it does work. It's not, your head's not going to spin around 360. You're not going to puke out green stuff. That's for the movies. Not very good movies at that. Then another concept is the devil and Satan. Though they're very talked about in the Bible. Now, I'm not a big Bible thumper. I'm not a big Bible reader. But what I found today, I had a few extra minutes before, between clients, and I'm searching around on the internet, and I clicked on this one video, and it's this one guy who's talking about Satan, okay? And he's doing like a 6-minute video, and he mentioned the word Ha-Satan, H-A-Satan, and he says, this is not Satan, this is Ha-Satan. Now, in the Old Testament, Satan is not mentioned, but Ha-Satan is mentioned. And that really caught my eye. Now, I've got the web page pulled up right here. And it's interesting because it describes Ha-Satan as someone that God wanted somebody to go down to earth and create challenges for humanity. And that's what Ha-Satan has done. He creates challenges for us. And what I've been finding is by removing not Satan, but Ha-Satan from people, that opens up the door a lot more. So my last 3 clients, I used that, and it did a lot of good. Generally, people feel a tingle, they feel a change, they feel something happening. And that's exactly what happened by removing Ha-Satan. So if you do some research on it, there's a lot of really good website about it, and it gets very lengthy. So that has been the latest thing, and as I said before, every day is just a new day of energy that is coming my way, and we're playing with it, and we're actually making some changes within people's lives. Okay, let's pull out Ha-Satan from everyone, and within everyone listening, live and podcast, cut all cords and connections with Ha-Satan within the soul and entire bodies. Let's send Ha-Satan into sanctuary. Pull out Ha-Satan. Okay. Ha-Satan is now leaving. A little bit more. There he goes.
You know what though? I tell you something. There is. I mean, we're looking at Australia in here, and that is looking at all the numbers and things. That there's thousands of people on the phone, right? I mean, not on the phone, but listening. The funny thing is that what we're talking about right now is something it's being brought to the front of conversations all the time.
It's one of those white elephant conversations too, where you hear somebody talking about it, you want to listen in, but you don't want to get too involved with it in some instances. When I take colleagues out for lunch and, we're sitting talking about our work, and then people are looking at us like, what are you eating? Okay. So a lot of people are interested in it because they're listening, but they don't want to quite jump in because they feel a little uncomfortable about it. So what we're going to do now, let's remove all the manifestations of Ha-Satan from everyone, from humanity. Neutralize all manifestations of Ha-Satan. Okay, manifestations are lifting. Now, of course, I did a bit of research into all of this with my pendulum, and because Ha-Satan was sent here to create challenge for humanity, what it said to me, and I need to research it some more, is that Ha-Satan created the reptilians. He created the life form to give us challenge. That is a deep concept. It means that there is somebody who thinks they're funny playing some tricks on humanity, creating these life forms to cause us problems. To me, that sounds pretty much like terrorism, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they're the biggest pain in the ass on this planet, excuse the expression. You know why? So many people are talking about those. In fact, 2 of the psychics that we do have on the networks that are also hosts. There's a lot of talk going on about reptilians and governments and markets and all kinds of things. They were like a life form that was put here to be a pain.
they have been. I mean, if you look at it through time, what's been going on this, a reptilian, what you will see on the internet is a being that doesn't have a lot of emotion. They don't have empathy. They're argumentative. They're aggressive. They like to fight and argue. And so a lot of people you can say they have a reptilian personality where, they don't have any emotion. They could step on a kitten and not show any kind of emotion about it. A lot of people would say, oh, you must be a reptilian. One thing I do find with the whole reptilian thing is there is validity to it, because I keep finding them and clearing them out of people. But now that we can get to it maybe a different level as to exactly what they are, why they're here, what they're doing here, and who is manipulating them, this whole Ha-Satan thing is going to open, I think, a whole new door as to what is really going on here, and how to help people to heal their health problems. So I'm looking forward to digging down this rabbit hole for a little while.
Let me give you something right out of the news. It says, and I quote, all right, it has been claimed on multiple occasions that many of these reptilians are world leaders.
And that's something I've always said. Look at Stephen Harper in Canada. The guy's got the personality of a deflated ball. Okay.
Well, it also says, they give it the flip side of that, too. It says, or could be possessed by.
It's going to be more so possessed. There probably is some kind of mind control manipulation that is causing them to do certain things. And, for what good? Really, it doesn't seem any good whatsoever. There's a concept that does cross my mind that there's definitely some kind of manipulation happening within politicians. If you look at what's going on around the world, I mean, come on, anybody with half a heart in a seat of power would say that this is not the right thing to happen and we need to stop it. And they're all just sitting around watching it going, oh, well, maybe we should do something. Why don't we do something? If we don't do something, then nothing's going to get done. Okay, time to go home. Goodbye. And nothing gets done.
Hey, I got one for you, and this is a toughie. My director in Texas, of the Texas studio, he's an ex-military guy. He's got problems left and right, but he's got a nerve issue in his left hand. I mean, bad. I mean, like sometimes the hand just like he gets this lock thing going.
Okay.
On it. And the question was, now this is actually John down in Australia just sent this up to me. Can you diagnose or give some type of healing to that hand?
What's his name?
His name is Mark, and I would even have to look up how to say his last name.
That's okay. That's okay. Just what you're going to do is hold his energy. You know him. You've seen him before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know him, so you're going to hold his energy. That's kind of how it works, working surrogate. So Mark, left hand just kind of cramps up and just locks up. Okay, where is the most resistance within Mark's body? Let's see if we can pull that one out. It worked last night, so let's see what we can do. Where is the most resistance in Mark's body? Okay, so this is muscular.
And I think he also lose feelings sometimes.
Okay. What is causing resistance within the hand and forearm muscles? Left hand, forearm muscles. Left hand, forearm muscles. Okay, I need a second on this one.
And we're going to bring everybody back up so that everybody is not thinking they're crazy. Which could be, okay, now you're back up.
Okay. So, what was that guy's name again? John?
No, Mark.
Mark. Okay, so I found Lyme disease within the muscles in that hand. So what I'm going to do is intend to remove Lyme disease. And the next time you talk to him, you ask him, is his hand any better? Okay? Here we go. Within Mark in Texas. Neutralize and eliminate all Lyme disease from the muscles in his left hand. So I'm definitely feeling the energy. There's definitely something there. Remove Lyme disease from the left hand. And that just lifted. That just lifted. Are we back up and running?
Yeah, we are. In fact, John is now talking to Mark on Skype right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, John, ask Mark how his hand is. All right, let's ask again about Mark.
Mark is not responding. This is good. I think something happened to all of us at the same time. It had nothing to do with the internet or anything else now, because you were still on with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was no problem whatsoever with that. It's something that they put on the line, and it's like a testing thing that they do.
Oh, very nice.
And when they do it, there are certain systems that don't like that. You know, we have software built in so little bugs can't get in.
Gotcha.
And the software says, "Oh no, you're not," and all of a sudden, bam! Yeah. So much for software.
What question is optimal for Mark? Mark in Texas.
Wait a second. He is writing, not on mine, on his, but I'll get it in a second. John,
Mark's body is in crisis.
Yeah, it is.
What area is in crisis?
John, you can tell him to write on our chat box. Still writing. He's got a lot to write.
What area in Mark's muscular system is in crisis? Okay, so this goes right down to the muscle structure, deep into the muscle. What area in the muscle structure is in a crisis?
Yeah, he's also saying that the hand is swollen, pain to the wrist, partial numbness in hand, also with swelling, and there's more coming.
Okay, it might be something to do with the capillaries or the blood flow to the muscles. What is causing crisis within the capillaries within the muscle? Capillaries. Okay, let's look at some heavy metals. What mineral excess is causing crisis within Mark's capillaries? Okay, we're going to remove iron buildup from the capillaries. Here's a situation where if you don't have the right energy signature of the person, that you could get hit and miss answers. So neutralize and eliminate all iron buildup within the capillaries and muscles within the left hand. Let's do nerves, capillaries, and muscles, connective tissue of the left hand. That is lifting. That is lifting.
Yeah, Mark is saying that his hand is puffing up right now and swelling.
So after we did that, it started to swell, right?
That's what he said. He says, Mark says, hand is puffing up right now, swelling.
So that means we're making some changes. And what I always say is any change is a good change. That means we either poke the bear or things are getting a little worse before they get better.
John says yes.
I mean, it sounds like a cop-out, but that's in fact what it is.
Yeah, that's what they wear those things around their hands for.
Yeah. Okay, let's check his left hand again. What is the problem within Mark in Texas? Mark's left hand. What is the problem? And the problem is Okay, so it's high sodium. Neutralize and eliminate all the sodium buildup in deposits within the left hand. Muscles, cardiovascular, nerves, connective tissue, and lymphatic. Remove all sodium. Lymphatic, remove all iron from the lymphatic. Okay, that seems to be a little stronger.
He also says that the hand is now thumping.
Neutralize sodium from the lymphatic. Remove iron from the lymphatic. That's better. That's better. What's he saying now?
Still thumping.
Still thumping.
Still thumping, yeah.
Yeah. You see, this is something that I would really like to have an hour session with him. Sometimes these problems are very, very complex, and you need to do the right thing at the right time in order to really get it.
I got a funny feeling, though, whatever you did is making a difference.
Well, it's definitely going to make a difference, but it's going to get worse before it gets better because things have to clear out. Things have to move out.
Blessings, everyone. Chris Kaler out.